cushion in between your shoulder blades. And if you're comfortable for your head to slightly tilt back into the ground, notice my legs are opening like a butterfly. You can always slide them down. If it's too much, you can always place your feet to the floor and your knees up. So whatever feels good for you today. Turn your palms open and take a moment to take a deep breath in. So you'll stay down, I'll come up. Take a deep breath in through your nose and let it out through your nose or mouth. Just simply arriving. And then as you inhale, you want to inhale down all the way to your body, all the way to your belly and pelvis. And on your exhale, feel the breath move upward. So today I thought we could focus on what's called a 360 breath. It's still the belly bonfire breath we've been learning, but we're taking it into the chest, the ribs, and the belly. So it might feel comfortable to place your hands on the middle of your abdomen. And as you inhale, inhale through the nose towards your chest, expand into the ribs, and then take the breath lower to your lower belly. Even see if you can wrap it to your back. And on the exhale, start to collect the breath from the belly, sweep it up into the higher part of the chest, and then all the way out through the nose. On your inhale, filter the breath down through the nose towards the chest, the rib cage, and the belly. And on your exhale, start to collect the breath up from the belly and press it higher. And it's okay if it's moving faster than my words. So just notice as you inhale, you can get the inhale to drop all the way down, maybe even to wrap and hug the low back. And notice on your exhale that you can get the breath to sweep up and to press through the belly and then get higher. And continue with your 360 breath for a few moments. As today, I thought we could come and look at our concept of self-compassion. So yes, there's self-care, there's self-love, but self-compassion usually looks a lot at what we're thinking in our mind and the judgment that we place on ourselves before anybody else even chooses to place that. So I just want you to notice if today there's been anything that's come up, or even over the last few days or the week, that you have exhibited a reoccurring thought pattern that has broken down that ability to be compassionate to self. And then take a deep, full breath around that. And exhale to slowly let it out. And when we're compassionate to ourselves, it's almost the same as if we were to be compassionate to a friend telling us a story or telling us what they think about something that they did. So turning it back to us and noticing what we would say to that friend, actually saying that to ourselves. So we're going to move through that today and awaken this area of the heart that is all we give out, but then also awaken the area of the belly as we breathe down, which is what we give back to self. So as you inhale, breathe down again all the way to the pelvis. And on your exhale, begin to slowly press the breath out and lift it higher. And 2 more times like that. Breathing down on the inhale, and if now your hips are feeling a little bit tight, being open, you can surely close them and keep your feet to the floor. And as you exhale, you slowly want to press the breath out. Do that 1 more time. And then exhale, let the old air start to move out. Now you're going to notice you'll gently begin to resume natural breath, so less depth in your breath, and start to collect the legs together. So place your hands on the outside of your legs and gather them to meet one another until your feet are flat to the earth. Now with your feet flat to the earth, let's just start to awaken our spine. So feet flat, toes, instead of opening out, make sure that they're facing forward under your ankles. Then you want to spread your feet nice and wide and just press your heels energetically down. Now, as you inhale, prepare with your breath and breathe down. And on your exhale, slowly start to sweep your belly in and up while you raise your hips lightly off the floor, but press your feet down. So a very gentle bridge here. And then you might add it on your next inhale by sweeping your arms back and keep looking up. And on your exhale, lower your arms, your spine, and your hips flat to the earth. So we're going to try that 2 more times. Press your feet into the earth. Inhale is your preparation. Breathe down. Exhale, start to press down and sweep all the way up, raising your arms up above you. Notice your hips don't have to get that high. And as you exhale, fold all the way, allowing your spine and hips to plant to the earth. Do that 1 more time. Inhale, prepare, breathe down. Exhale, press into your feet. Sweep your lower belly in and up and begin to reach your arms skyward. And then gently and slowly begin to release out of your bridge pose and make it back to center. Great. Now let's go ahead and give this a try. You're going to gently take your feet as wide as your mat. Knock your knees over to the right. Rest your arms by your side. We call this a windshield wiper. And then inhale here. Breathe all the way down to your belly and beyond. And as you exhale, and that's going to be to squeeze your lower belly lightly in and up, swivel your knees to the opposite side. Good. Now take a deep breath here, breathing towards the right hip, the left hip, the low back. And as you exhale, find your center point. Maybe allow your legs to go all the way to the right side again. Take a deep, full breath as you hold. Exhale, give a nice hug and lift of the belly in and up. So you start to wake up the organs, the area of detox. And then when you're ready, shift it to the opposite side. Now back to center. And once you find your center point, hug your knees into your heart space. Give yourself a hug, rock side to side. And that hug, just saying, think you showed up today. You decided to come and do this class and dedicate to your well-being. So that deserves a pat on the back. Now you can simply roll to the right side to come up to sit, or you can take a little rock and roll with me and place your hands behind your kneecaps, then rock up 1, and then rock up 2. And finally, see if you can come all the way up to sit by stacking one heel in front of the other. So with your seated pose, one heel in front of the other can feel that allow us to open our pelvis a little bit more, which is definitely needed after sitting all day long. So let's just begin by planting our hands together. Lift and open through your heart and belly space. Take a deep breath down on your inhale, all the way down towards the belly and pelvis. As you exhale, you want to sweep the breath up, hug your lower belly in, and then squeeze the exhale out through the nose. Now we're going to incorporate the breath. So begin to warm up our wrist creases too by planting your palms together. As you inhale, breathe down and prepare. On the exhale, give a hug and lift of the breath, and then rotate lightly to the right side. Inhale, back to center, breathe down. Exhale, carve up, lift the lower belly in and up and swivel to the left. Inhale, center, breathe down. Exhale, start to twist. Let your exhale carry you open to the right. Inhale, center, and exhale to carry you open to the left. And then find your center point and just begin to wave the arms through the air here. So as you wave the arms through the air, notice that you can move according to your body, so it may not be as fast as I'm moving. I kind of love the online part is because we're not looking at the whole class when we're doing this, so we can be more focused on our own breath, on our own body, on our own unique limitation around anything. And then as you inhale, slowly begin to close the palms. Inhale, prepare, and open out. Then exhale, squeeze the lower belly in and up while you curl. Inhale, wave the arms and lift the heart. Exhale, squeeze the breath out. So do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. And now gently release, and we're going to try a little core activation with lots of levels for you. So as you unravel your legs, bring your big toe mounds together. We're going to try our boat pulses. These are great for spinal stability and core as well, but I love that they get really deeply into the spine to help strengthen some of the key muscles that begin to get compromised when we sit a lot. So bring your big toes together here. Hug up and you're balancing on your sit bones. And if this is really challenging, you can lower down. So wherever you're at here, whether it's low or high, you want to gently, slowly lean back on your inhale. And as you exhale, come forward and open your heart. Just very beginner variation. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, squeeze the lower belly in while you pulse forward. you're almost starting to tease and awaken your core here. Exhale. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, use your breath and come forward. Now, one more time at this beginner variation, and then you may continue here, really just aiming to keep your spine long, or you may lift up and your exhale is back here. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to open. So I really like working at the level that you're at for today. It is the best way to build strength. When you stick at your level and you notice that if you go up a level, it compromises the spine, it's not worth it. Exhale. So be compassionate to where you are today. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Notice my feet are still together. And then exhale and lower. Now we're going to try this one. So it's the same thing with the palms. Big toe mounds are going to stay together and plant on the floor. Inhale. Wave your arms up. Bring your palms together. Lean back to the right as you exhale. Inhale, center. Lean to the left. I think we did this one last week. And exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, squeeze the breath out. So notice it's your breath that carries you there. So it's your exhale that brings you there first, even before your body. Exhale begins, and then you lean back. Inhale, center. Exhale, squeeze the lower belly in and up. The breath really, truly is everything in yoga, so we want to be very consistent with it. Exhale. And one more. And exhale. Beautiful. So as we find ourselves to center now, we can unravel our legs and begin to come to an all fours position. This is where we can spread our fingers nice and wide. Really press your fingertips into the earth. That's going to wake up the arches of your hands. Notice my knees have some space between them as well. Soften through your elbows. As you inhale, glide your spine forward. Now notice my exhale. I'm going to bend my elbows, squeeze the lower belly in and up, and then press up through the back of the spine. Inhale, soften forward. Lift the gaze. Exhale carries you all the way back, giving a nice hug and lift from the lower belly and higher. One more like that. Inhale, dip forward. Exhale, carve back to center. Now find your center point here, and as you inhale, raise your right arm up. And on your exhale, weave it through your left and hover. Then inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, glide it through the left and hover. And do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale, glide through. The next time you inhale, reach the right arm up. Plant the hand at your right hip. Lengthen your spine. Take a deep breath in. Lift up through the lower belly and peek over your right shoulder there. Take a deep breath here, breathing down on the inhale and lifting up on the exhale. And then plant your right hand to the earth. Let's try the left now. So inhale, swivel your left arm up. Exhale, glide it through to hover on the right. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sweep down. Two more. Follow your full exhale down and follow the full length of your inhale up. Now go ahead and slowly make this the last one as you reach your left arm up. Bring the hand just towards the left hip. Lengthen your spine, deep breath down as you inhale. Exhale, sweep the lower belly in and up while you begin to rotate lightly over your left shoulder. Take a deep full breath here. And then gently release and find your center point. Finding your center point, walk your hands forward. We can take a little rock here. So you want to rock forward, press the weight into your hands, and then gently rock back. Now incorporate the breath. So next time you come forward, let it be your inhale, and then your exhale back. Inhale, and exhale. So we're just also preparing our body now for the first downward dog. And now gently and slowly as you come back, you're going to go ahead and tuck your toes. Wait for your exhale to help lift your belly in and up, and then that helps you find your inversion, downward facing dog. Walk it out a little bit. So you want to pedal both heels. Notice with your downward dog, and especially when you're building strength, it may be very normal to have to come out of it and then go back into it. Breathe easy, breathing down on the inhale and up and out on the exhale to really get your internal systems to wake up as well. And even just being kind with anything that arises today, being more compassionate with the way your body is moving now, with what might be happening in the mind or not be happening there. Just being here and going one moment at a time. Now find some length in your downward dog. Take a deep, full breath into your whole body. Exhale, let it out. Then slowly begin to walk your feet forward and only go as far as they reach under your hips. Then you're going to walk your hands back towards your feet there. Bend your knees a lot. Keep your hips back in space. Release your brain and begin to swivel your spine side to side. So get a nice inversion here, allowing your spine to release your brain to get new fresh circulation. And when you're ready, walk your hands up to your shins and press your fingertips into them. It's going to help strengthen the arches of your hands. Inhale, lengthen up through your spine. Exhale, please do bend your knees, break it down, and fold. Next, inhale again. Press the fingertips into the shin bones. Lengthen up halfway. Now use your exhale to bend your knees. Keep your hips back. And then 1 to 3 breaths are going to help you reach and rise and raise your arms over your head back there. Slowly connect your fingertips at the top and gently begin to look up as you lower down with your hands. Feeling your flame mudra, your hand gesture, that really represents the breath a lot. So as you inhale, you breathe down again. And on your exhale, you collect that flame from the roots, squeezing your belly in and up and letting that exhale carry you out. This way, we don't only work the external body, we work the internal body. Let's begin with our core salutation. So I'll show you what the first one will look like. We're going to incorporate twisted circles, and it looks like this, where we come into a lunge and we twist. And notice my front knee is not bending or straightening too much here. I'm staying pretty firm and static with my front knee, but more movement in the back. Now, if that's challenging, you do it with the back knee down like this, and you work to your level. And then we'll move into our high lunge or low lunge, and eventually we'll come into a side angle pose. So let's give it a try. Come to the top of your mat, keep some distance between your feet. I say about 2 fists is a nice space to be. And then at the top of your mat, bend your knees, and as you inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. On your exhale, begin to bend and fold down to the earth. Now bring your fingertips to your shins and roll up halfway. Get long through your heart. Plant your strong hands to the earth and step back to downward dog, 1 foot at a time. From your downward dog, take a full deep breath in, feeling a firm press of your fingertips down. Now we're going to try this one. So you want to inhale and send the hips back. Bend the knees as you do it. If it's too much, you can put the knees lightly on the earth, but still keep the hips back. As you exhale, come onto your tippy toes and roll yourself forward into your plank pose. Remember, knees can be up or down in plank. Whatever's going to make sure that you're not sinking in your lower back. You want to collect up through the core. And then lower your knees down. Lean your heart forward as if to hover, and slowly begin to find the earth in front of you. As you find the earth in front of you, point your toenails down. Take a deep breath in, prepare. Use your exhale to bring your chin to your heart. Notice my pubic bone's not coming up. Come up into a baby cobra, even if it's an inch off the ground. Inhale here. Exhale, lower halfway. Press the floor away. Come to your knees. Tuck your toes. Use your belly to lift back into downward dog. From your downward dog, breathe easy. And we're going to try our transition with our right leg forward. So inhale, bend the limb. Left knee can come down. Right leg goes up. So just left knee can also be bent. As you exhale, carve your right knee to your heart. Left knee can be down. And step your right foot to your hand at the top of your mat. Now, option to keep the back knee down at any time, but let's try it. Lengthen your spine. Press the left fingertips to the earth. You could always put a block under the left hand for the earth to rise. Inhale, raise the right arm up. Exhale, bend your back knee and circle down. Twisted circles. Inhale, open. This one is great for both mobility, flexibility, and strength. Exhale, down. Encourage your right knee to continue to bend so you can warm the muscles before we stretch them later. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. And then exhale, trickle down. And one more time, just paint. Now this time stay. And if at any time you need to lower the back knee, do it. But keep bending into the front knee. As you exhale, open through into a twisted lunge. Breathe down on the inhale. Up and active on the exhale. And then circle your right hand down. Great. Begin to tuck your back toes under and slowly step back to downward dog. From your downward dog, find your breath. When you're ready, inhale, bend the knees, hips go way back. Raise the left leg up. Bend the right knee or place it to the earth lightly. Exhale, carve your left knee to your heart and step it forward to your hand. There you go. Go ahead and lengthen your spine. Right hand can always come and place a block underneath it or a book as well. And then as you bend into your left knee over your ankle, reach and open through your left arm. I'm going to spin around. You stay right there. We're going to try twisted circles on our left side now. So as you inhale, open. Exhale, bend and circle down. Inhale. Exhale. Stubbornly press through your left foot and notice your knee is staying bent on the left side rather than trying to straighten too fast. Take one more. And on that final one, remember your back knee can be down for this. Reach up, find your twisted lunge there. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and then lower. And as you lower, ground your hands. And that one is meant to feel a little tiring. It's normal. A lot of work is happening in that one pose. Come back to downward dog. Take a deep, full breath through your whole body. Exhale, squeeze the old air out. Give the belly a hug and lift. Plant your big toe mounds together. Bend your knees, send your hips back. Inhale. And when you're ready, step or hop to land with your feet under your hips. And notice I don't say the front, I say under your hips. Fingertips to the shins. Crawl up halfway. Exhale, let it out. And now take some time to press into the earth and roll yourself up to stand. Unfurl the arms to the sky. Inhale. Collect your finger pads up there. And exhale as you follow with your gaze. Lowering all the way down towards your heart center. Take a moment to breathe down and create that space for self-compassion to light up. And breathe up and allow anything that has been holding you back from making that space to be compassionate to yourself begin to burn out through your flame. Slowly release. Okay, let's carry on with our second sun salutation or core salutation, which is going to include our side angle circles as well as our high or low lunge, your choice. So at the top of your mat, press into your strong feet. Inhale, unfurl, reach for the sky. Exhale, start to bow down, bend your knees to get there. Now fingertips to the shins, crawl into a halfway lift. Plant your strong hands to the earth. Step back to downward dog. We're going to practice our wave into plank. So remember, your knees can come down to do this. As you inhale, hips go back. On your exhale, knees up or down, wave forward into a high or low plank. When you're holding plank, notice you're not sinking in your hips. You want to press the floor away or bring the knees down to support the core. And tap your knees lightly to the earth. Lean the heart forward. Use your next exhale to lower slowly and find the earth. Point your toenails. We're going to do 3 cobra waves. Toes try to stay down. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, circle your chin inward. Lift your belly while you come up. And open up with the inhale to hold. Notice my shoulders are down. Exhale, release. So it's a 4-part breath. Inhale here. Exhale, hug your belly in and up while you circle. Your serpent rises. Inhale up. Exhale, lower down. Now one more, but this time our exhale will be our transition back to pointed knee plank or knee down plank. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, circle your chin in. Glide up, your head comes up last. Inhale, open. Now exhale, lower halfway. Press the floor away. Come back to your knees. Tuck your toes. Lift your belly and transition to downward dog. Take a deep full breath here. And if you want to, you can always stick your tongue out on the next exhale, allowing the throat to soften and any tension to release from the throat, the neck, and the brain. So it'd be like this. On the inhale, breathe in through the nose. Exhale, you stick your tip of the tongue to the chin. Then resume your breath. Now inhale, bend the knees, hips go back. Left knee can come down. Right leg needs to come up. As you exhale, circle your right knee forward to your heart. Left knee can be down. Step your right foot to your right hand. Take your time to get there. It's a challenging transition. We're going to work into high lunge, but of course you can put your back knee down into low lunge if you feel you need it. Inhale, lengthen your spine, bend your back knee, use your exhale to even just carve up on your leg, roll in through your belly, and come up about here. Now lengthen your back leg as you see comfortable. And then try a breath of freedom here. So as you inhale, open your arms out. And on your exhale, wrap your arms to center, give yourself a hug. Inhale, glide open. Exhale, squeeze the breath out. Center you go. Inhale, lengthen, pressing stubbornly into your front foot. Exhale, curl. Good. One more inhale. This time stay buoyant. Lift through the belly to support the back. And as you exhale, trickle your fingertips down. We're going to go ahead and open the back foot out to the long edge of the mat. I'm going to spin around. You stay there. Open your left foot towards the long edge of the mat and walk inside to the right. Now bend both knees, taking a moment just to feel the mobility of your pelvis. Bend into your right knee, bend lightly into your left knee. Use your next exhale to carve up and lower your right forearm onto your front thigh. Inhale, raise the left arm up. Exhale, bow down, circle through your side angle. Inhale, open. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lift. Good. 2 more circles just like that. As you exhale, circle forward. As you inhale, open. And then 1 more. This time you're going to reach over your head, sweep your belly in and up, and glide your gaze to the sky there. Notice you're bending into your front knee, pressing actively through both your feet, and then pulsing your breath. As you inhale, breathe down on the inhale. Exhale, squeeze up through the pelvic floor. Hug the belly inward and upward. Gently begin to release through your side angle. Fingertips in the middle of your mat. Turn your right foot to parallel your left. Go ahead and just take a moment to ninja lunge. So you take some time, and you can do this higher or lower. And just bend both knees. Ensure that your feet are planted and rooted to the earth. Keep your hips as far back as you can to protect your knees. Breathe easy. And then take a moment to find the earth. And as you do, begin to open your left foot out towards the short edge of your mat. Walk your hands back a little bit. Bend into your left knee. Bend both knees. And then bend back into your left knee. Take a deep breath in. Hips go back. Use your exhale to carve up halfway. Lower your left forearm to your front thigh. Reach your right arm back. And as you exhale, bow and circle down. Inhale, open. Exhale, down. So if you're going to brush and paint the air here, or send a circle of compassionate light around you. We often have to remind ourselves to find a little bit more compassion for self. It does not come naturally for many. And then gently and slowly begin to reach the right arm up over the head. Sweep the belly in on your next exhale. Peel your gaze to the sky. Take a deep breath down on the inhale and carve up through the lower belly, hugging the belly up and in on your exhale. Gently circle out of your side angle. Find the earth. Turn your left foot to parallel your right. Go ahead and turn your heels in, and this will take your toes out. For your knee health, make sure that your toes are open under your kneecaps and your hips stay back. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, roll up. Collect your hands into temple on your thighs and sink into your hips, inner thighs widening. And just take a moment here to explore. So I really want you to find a moment to move with your limbs as you see fit, just becoming aware of how it feels in your body. Hold, listening to your breath. And then we'll meet here at center and we'll inhale, open up, breath of freedom. Exhale, wrap to center. Hug yourself. Inhale, open. Exhale, bow. You might feel some fire on the legs now. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale all the way down. Exhale, hug the belly in and out while you curl to your center. Go ahead and glide yourself down to the earth. Turn your toe tips forward. Bend into one knee and then the other. Now you already know the modification of this pose because we did it earlier, and that's up here. So feeling your ninja lunge, you can even hang out on one side and enjoy the stretch. You should feel it around your inner thighs or back of thighs. And then allow the breath to flow with you. And just take a moment to feel the breath circle around, not only down, but maybe to the low back. And if you need stillness, enjoy stillness by raising up. And as you exhale, bowing to the earth, keeping the knees lightly bent. And this also may be higher, and that's fine. Take a deep breath down on the inhale. And exhale, squeeze, press the old air out. Gently begin to walk your way to the front of your mat. Turn your hips, turn your feet, turn your heart, and press back towards your downward dog. Take a deep, full breath here, breathing all the way down, and exhale, letting it out. We're going to take a vinyasa here, so as you inhale, bend the knees, hips go back. Knees can be up or down. As you exhale, carve it forward. Find your plank pose. Tap your knees lightly to the earth. Hug the belly in. Lean the heart forward and find your way to the earth. Point your toenails. Inhale, prepare, breathe down. Exhale, circle inward and upward. Lift your belly in and up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, lower. Press the floor away. And then gently and slowly make your way to hands and knees. Now as you raise the right leg up, we're going to try some circles here. So come into center with the right leg, and then inhale, open, and kick back. Center, inhale, exhale. And if you want to do this in downward dog, that could also be an option, which I'll show you on the other side. One more. This is going to help us prepare for our standing balance. Slowly come back to center, shake the hips side to side, reaffirm the connection to the finger pads. We're going to do the same thing. So you're going to inhale, open out, exhale, carve back in. Inhale, the leg opens. And if you want to do it in downward dog, it would look like this. Your right knee would have to stay a bit bent, but same thing, opening out and coming in. Do two more. Exhale, one more, and exhale. Now everybody slowly press back into downward dog. Take a deep, full breath in. Exhale, let it out through the nose or the mouth. Tap your knees lightly to the earth, and let's gently begin to inch our legs back and walk your hands forward. So your hips are going to stay in the air, and if it's comfortable to fold your arms, you can do. Lower your forehead right between your eyebrows towards the earth. Take a deep breath here, even if it means that you need to stay up higher. Modify so that you can feel a little pressure on your pineal gland, which is stimulated when you put pressure between your eyebrows. Take a deep, full breath down all the way to the lower belly and back. And as you exhale, hug your lower belly in and up. Do that one more time in any one of your variations here. And then start to walk and ease your way out. So we have one more standing pose to do, or balance, before we take it down and enjoy the earth. So let's begin by coming into downward dog. When you're ready, use your exhale to get there. And then inhale, bend the knees, send the hips back, and exhale, step or hop to land under your hips. When you're ready, fingertips either to the floor or the shins, roll up halfway. As you exhale, break it down, bend the knees, keep the hips back. And on the next breath cycle, 1 to 2, to unfurl you up to stand. Inhale, reach for the sky. Connect your finger pads. Exhale, lower as you follow with your gaze. Find your center point here. So we're going to try balance. And you may use the wall for support. It can be quite helpful by placing one hand to the wall. And then we'll turn to take the other hand to the wall. So if you're using the wall, put your right hand on the wall. And we're going to balance on our right leg. If you're not using the wall, that's fine. You'll be here, facing the front of your mat. So as your right hand is to the wall, your right foot is pressing down. Okay, we're going to inhale and just kind of bend as if to gather all that new energy. And as you exhale, lift your lower belly in and up. You can still be using the wall. Bring your back left foot towards your inner back hand. Then inhale, bend. And as you exhale, slowly just begin to press back with your foot into your hand. For those not on the wall, you can take your arm forward and begin to start a variation of your dancer pose. So inhale, bend, Exhale, press your foot into your hand and just lean lightly into it. Doesn't have to be deep, and you can be right here at the wall. Focus your gaze on one spot. That's called your drishti in yoga. It can be really helpful. Lift and open through the heart. One more breath here. And exhale, collect back to your center point and plant your foot down, walk side to side. So now if you're using the wall, you'll need to shift to have the left hand on the wall. And we're going to slowly inhale, wave the arms up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold down. Then curl up halfway. When you're ready, put the weight into your opposite left foot. Start to roll up. Feel your belly lift in and up to give you this beautiful support. And then take your hands to your hip or the left hand to the wall there. Bring your right foot up. And for some, it might just be this today. Right hand can loop through to your right foot. Nice to press the foot into the hand and the hand into the foot for a little resistance. Bend into your front knee, and as you exhale, gently draw back through your legs. Inhale and exhale. Now notice that you could also bring your arm forward if you're not on the wall and work into a variation of your dancer pose. So I really want you to understand this can be very gentle, and then it can work into a deeper variation. It's not something to push into. You take your time by inhaling, neutralizing, exhaling, lifting through the belly to support everything that's happening here in the trunk. Find your full expression as you lift your heart. Notice your hips are facing down. And as you exhale, start to ease out. Find the earth. Walk on each foot, or lift each foot. We'll make it down to the earth now to stay there. So as you inhale, float up. On the exhale, break it down. Feel the floor. Now bring your fingertips to your shins, crawl up halfway. Plant your strong hands down. Step back to your final downward dog of the evening. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it out. We're going to transition into pigeon. You can do it with your knees down or up. So as you inhale, bend the knees or put them down. Raise the right leg up. Exhale, carve your right knee to your heart. This time you're going to open your right foot to the left and lower your shin point down. So your right knee is behind your right wrist. Go ahead and tuck back through your back leg. Fingertips come up. Lift the belly in and up. Inhale. And exhale, bow. Now you can always place some books or block under your hands to help bring the floor to you. Exhale. Or you could even do it here if that's feeling too much. Exhale. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, squeeze the belly in and up. Feel the floor. Inhale, open. And exhale to bow. Now we come into our full expression of what pigeon is for us. Begin to lower the forearms. If you ever want to deepen the pose, choose to open the knee rather than the foot. Notice that you're at center. You can come all the way down, or you can simply hold your head in your hands here. Take a deep, full breath down on the inhale towards your lower back. As you exhale, carve up through your lower belly. Notice as you're here that a lot of emotion will stick in the hip area and the lower back. And so sometimes we can feel a little bit more of a stretch or sensation in our pigeon pose. So take a deep breath down. Let the breath help you ease its way and your way into the pose. And as you exhale, you do want to squeeze your lower belly in and up. Always have that nice connection to your internal filter organs and detox system. And if you need more in the pose, you could walk to the corner side of your mat, and you could allow yourself to just reach the right arm a little bit further than the left, feeling a nice long line and stretch across the waist and the side. Inhale to breathe down. Exhale to squeeze up through the lower belly, allowing the right hip to descend away from the armpit. Take one more cycle with your breath here. Then we'll begin to come back to center. And as you do, see if you can square your left arm about 90 degrees, so it's parallel to the short surface of the mat. Reach your right arm out and turn the palm away, placing it towards your hip. And then peel your gaze over to the sky there. If it feels comfortable for some of you doing this later, you may want to press into the foot and then see if you can grab hold of the back leg, but also press back into the hand to create resistance in the stretch. So keep opening out, feeling one variation of your pigeon, be it a gentle twist, a deeper twist, or also a leg stretch there for your quadricep. Inhale, breathe down. Exhale, squeeze and press the old air out. Now begin to release. As you release, find your way forward, begin to peel up, press the floor away. You can either come to hands and knees, or you can make your way back to downward dog, even just observing the difference on each side of leg. When you're ready, inhale, bend the knees, hips go back. Raise the left leg, knees can be up or down. Bring your left knee towards your heart. Take your left foot to the right and plant your left knee behind your left wrist. Begin to ease your way back. We'll take some waves. So inhale, open. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more, really pressing the floor away. Thinking about all your variations that are going to help you and allow you to feel what your body needs today. And when you're ready, begin to lower down, and you can creep your right foot back lightly there. Plant it to the foot, opening through your left knee as much as you need to. Take a deep breath down on the inhale, all the way to the pelvis. As you exhale, you want to squeeze up through the pelvic floor, hug it in and up. Rest your head in your hands if it feels good, or lower to your heart into a sleeping pigeon. You should feel sensation on the outer left side of your leg. If it feels comfortable to do so, you can deepen the pose by walking over to the corner right side of the mat, trickling your left arm and fingertips more forward. Relax your right shoulder as you do, and descend your heart to the earth. Take a deep breath down towards the lower left side of your low back, your hip, where that storage often occurs when we don't express the self-compassion. When our mind tells us something that isn't serving us, sometimes the emotion around that goes down to this area of the body. Inhale to breathe down. Exhale to sweep and press and light your flame. Let it burn out anything that has been unserving for you. And then begin to walk your way back to center, and we'll have this variation offered to you. So you'll square your right arm 90 degrees to the short edge of your mat. Raise your left arm out, turn the palm away, and just brace it at the left hip or the low back. And then open through the heart. Take a deep, full breath here, breathing down on the inhale, squeezing up on the exhale. If it feels comfortable to reach your left arm towards your right leg, maybe you can draw it inward and feel an opening through the front of your right upper quadricep there. Breathing into the body and exhaling to let it out. And this can also be restricted through mobility, which is fine. You could even have your foot just bending there. And even if you can't reach for it, that's okay. And now slowly begin to release it. And then we get to come out. So take a deep breath in and roll yourself up. You can either come to sit or you can transition back to all fours and find your way to sit when you're ready. So we're going to enjoy a few seated poses. Then we'll make our way down to the earth and have our relaxation, which is much deserved. So let's begin to try this one today. You're going to go ahead and bring your right leg forward and take your left foot towards your inner right side. Cup your knee up. Notice how my front knee is bent. As you inhale, wave up. On the exhale, bow. Fingertips trickle the floor. Inhale, wave up. Exhale, lower. Notice I'm pressing my right heel point down. My toes are going to point up to my face. Now inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. As you fold, try to sweep your lower belly in and up. Notice I'm still bent in the right knee. You can find some length there feeling on, based on where you're feeling the stretch. You should feel it behind the muscle rather than the joint. When you're ready, just begin to fold and bow to your center. It's not about reaching your toes. So do try to keep your seat bones into the earth, sweep your spine long, and fold on your exhale. Do release the head to allow the brain to get a softening as well. And then breathe. Inhale to breathe down. Share the breath with the lower back. Exhale to squeeze the old air out. Hug and lift from the root muscles up to the lower belly. And then gently and slowly take your fingertips towards the earth. Roll yourself in and up. Ease off. Just lift the gaze. Take a deep full breath in and slowly release. We're going to switch sides. The left leg comes forward. Then your right foot will graze the inside of your left leg. The left knee stays bent here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, lift. So these nice waves also help us move through our connective tissue. And then lower all the way down. Find your fingertips to the earth. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, start to trickle forward. Maybe lengthen your front leg. Notice that you can find a space where you're feeling a stretch that is really compassionate towards your flexibility, where you're not pushing too far forward, but you're also not feeling anything. So you're somewhere in between. Inhale to find your length. Exhale to sweep and fold, descend through the brain and the heart. Deep breath down on the inhale. A nice active exhale up. One more cycle with your breath, enjoying or release both of the left leg and possibly feeling a stretch on the side of the right low back. When you're ready, inhale, begin to open, lift your heart. Exhale, lower. This time look up again. And we will begin to find our way to the floor. Keep a cushion or block handy and within arm's reach for your relaxation today. So as you come to lay on the floor, and this might be a nice time in your own home to dim the lights or to find your way into more of a soothing lighting space. Have your pillows and your blocks close by. And then we're going to go ahead and lower down into a bridge prep where the knees are bent. Feet are to the floor. With this pillow or block, whatever you have, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, raise the hips and slide either your pillow or your block underneath your sacrum here. If you practice yoga even just once a week, it's definitely worth it to get a block. And we're going to allow the hip flexors to release now. Walk your feet as wide as your mat and knock your knees lightly towards each other. They don't have to touch. Deep breath down on the inhale. And exhale, just soften and release as if your exhale is allowing your body and your hips to just pour down towards the earth. Take one more cycle with the breath there. Then begin to walk your feet inward and try this. Now, if you don't have a block or pillow, you can still do this even without. Your hips would just be on the floor. You're going to go ahead and raise one leg up and then the other to meet it. And then circle the ankles outward and inward. So right now we're working into blood circulatory system as well as lymphatic system. Just taking a moment to be still where the pelvis pours down onto the earth. The legs lightly extend, knees can be bent, and you're grounded with your palms just to support you. Open in your heart. Take a deep, full breath down on the inhale. And exhale to let it out. And then gently start to lower your feet. Ground one and then the other. Press into your strong feet. Lift the hips, remove the block, and lightly lower your spine all the way back down. Now hug again your knees to your heart. Once again, just rocking side to side. Thanking yourself for showing up today. And as you plant your feet to the earth, We're going to go ahead and squeegee your hips to the left and then bring your knees over towards the right. This is where your pillow can come in handy too. It can always be a buffer between your legs or between the floor. Rest your arms out by your side so you can allow your shoulders to descend to the earth. And if they're not doing that, then lower your legs and bring your heels closer towards your seat bone. Take a deep full breath down on the inhale, allowing your left hip to fully drop from the armpit. And exhale to let the breath pour out. Notice that gravity does take hold of the limbs here, so just noticing if you're resisting against that. Give yourself permission to settle. Then we'll slowly begin to draw back towards our center point. Ground your pelvis. Take your hips over to the right and your knees will knock now lightly to the left. Again, keep your shoulders on the earth, gaze point up, arms wide of the heart. Take a deep full breath down towards the lower right side of the hip, encouraging it to drop. And exhale to let the old air out. Anything that's kept you back from being compassionate to yourself. And as often it's just us. It keeps us back from doing that for self. Take a moment to notice that you are creating new space, both body, mind, heart, and soul here today. So in that new space, how do you choose to fill it with more compassion for you, yourself? And slowly begin to release back to center. Feel your pelvis ground, and now you are ready for your relaxation, your Shavasana. So take some time to extend your legs out. Rest your arms by your side. If you need to put a pillow under your kneecaps, it can be great for lower back tension. Or release fully towards the surface of the earth. And I'm going to come up to sit, but I encourage you to stay down because this is truly when you receive the benefits of your practice. Take a deep breath in on your inhale and down towards your lower body. And as you exhale, begin to slowly let the breath pour out. Feel your body sink into the earth beneath you. And feel the earth come up to receive any heaviness, any tension. To allow that to melt downward. Notice that as you inhale, your inhale is soft and natural, and it's dropping all the way down to your whole body. And let your exhale be refreshing and offering a full release. Relax through the face, through the eyes, and into the mouth. Relax the jaw, the throat, and the neck. And allow your heart to slowly soften, your arms to gently sink to the space in your palms as they turn up. Relax through your hips, the back of your body, the bottom, and feel a wave slide down through your legs towards your feet. Let's stay here for a moment, centering back towards a full release, breathing into the body, slowly sinking into the earth. And because this is your class, you can really choose to stay as long as you need to here. We will end our practice by placing our hands on our heart, and you can even do this laying down. Take a deep breath in together to your heart, to your belly, and exhale to fully let it out. And to seal your practice today with an awareness that is lit around being compassionate to you, watching the thought and replacing it with one that is more compassionate, watching the judgment and replacing it with something else. Because you deserve that. And just like you would speak to anybody else if they asked for your advice, you have a dedication to do that for yourself too. Begin to create a habit to be kind to your thoughts, to any judgment that arises, and to anything that holds you back in your life. Now stay here as long as you need to. When you are ready to come out, be sure to roll to the side and build your way back up to sit. And as you end your practice, do take a deep breath. Notice how you feel. And bow to seal your self-compassion practice close to your center. Namaste.